Welcome to the prejudging session for the JordanCon costume contest. We have a few ground rules that I want to go over and just let you know how this is going to run, because I'm sure some of you haven't participated before. I'm going to read you your names in the order that you signed up. And when I call your name, I need you to come up here, tell the judges about your costume, briefly who you are, what you did to make it. This is not your cosplay or character description. This is who I am. This is how I made my costume. This is what I bought. This is what I made. This is what I had commissioned. We're looking for the technical details. When you walk for the contest, what we're going to do is Melissa, our Toastmaster, is going to wave you down. You'll be handed the mic to talk about your costume for about 20 seconds, and that's when you can do any sort of in-character stuff that you want to do. And then you'll walk out. You'll go over to Golden B for official photos, and then we'll bring everyone back in to announce the winners. Does it sound good? Okay. And then the other thing I need is, when I call your name, I'm going to need you to start to sit in the order that you're called, so that we can have you walk in that same order. Okay? Good. Okay, so the first one I have is Zach Stevens as a Sean Chan captain.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
The boots I bought online, the leather undersuit I had commissioned. The armor I made all myself. It was done out of heat form plastic. All the scales were individually cut and painted and rung together by me with chainmail rings.
See the back.
And the katana sheet or holder I just bought. So.
And then Zach, can I have you sit? Yeah. Actually, Richard, if you can not row, well, that's where we're going to start. Sit against the wall.
Can we put more space between the chairs?
As long as you guys sit in order, I don't think it matters how far away you'll sit from one another. Okay, yes.
Do we want to sit or, well, yeah, never mind. Forget it.
Okay, now, the next one I have is Leslie Annis as an Ebony Black Widow.
Yes. Purchased my shirt and my shoes, my key necklace, and I made the rest. So, including weapons, my marriage knife, and I beaded the sheaths. I did it all by hand. My skirts, these pull up. My petticoats underneath. And that's it.
Okay, the next person I have is Lucy Stewart as an Aes Sedai with the White Aja.
I made the whole dress and I also made the earrings I'm wearing. Everything else is bought except I put the Flame of Tarbell on the sword.
Marcos Renero is a Hungry Troll.
Oh, I like the cook on.
I pieced everything together. So I brought dinner if anybody's hungry. Bunch of Halloween leftovers, basically. And then a nice little apron. So.
Cita Romero as Seafoam.
I made the pants and the sash, and the henna took 3 hours to apply. I pierced my nose, totally for this. And then I had the chain, I had it specially made with medallions. I use ear cuffs for the extra earrings because I don't have that many piercings, but you know, just a few here.
Can we see the back? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this one looks like it's a group. Kelsey, Paul, and Chip. As Carl.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh.
You want us one at a time?
Are you entering as a group or individually?
Group.
If you're a group, you can come up as a group.
I need to pin my pants.
Peace. Peace. Woo.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
So,
It's a good idea.
the three of us all live in Nashville, and Paige heard what we were doing and joined on. Most of our costumes, we came together and purchased a whole bunch of leather. We pretty much ordered sides of cows and made a whole bunch of armor that was spiked. And then each of us he wanted to do the makeup, so he did the prosthetics, spent all day assembling and having that fly.
How about the, but we added feathers here, they're really good.
Yeah. The horns were initially bought. I hollowed them out and painted them because they were a nasty yellow tone.
Those weren't bought, those are from me.
Okay, they were given from him.
Yeah.
Prosthetic was bought. Chainmail by hand, 3 months.
Wow.
I bought the rings, but assembling it took about 3 months. It's approximately 19,000 rings.
He has a lot of time.
Made the leather, made the shirt underneath.
Mine's mostly repurposed. I've raided my kid's toy box. This is half of a children's plastic shield, cut in half and repainted and highlighted. Baseball helmets underneath here. This is plaster tape to sculpt the mask with Model Magic, Play-Doh, Crayola Model Magic. These are also children's shields that I just modified to make leg armor. I made the leather chest piece, the shoulder piece. These are belts from the thrift store. Just run through it to kind of hold it on. And the rest of it is all thrift store clothing or found on the side of the
We also made our badges.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And the axe is made of dowel, and then all of this is carved out of foam, and then a Urashell casing. And then my helmet is a baseball helmet that has latex, Crayola, Model Magic, and a material called Magic Sculpt, and it's based off of the designs from Fires of Heaven.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see your backs. No, yeah, they'll go away. I didn't mean. Ah, even honey. Mm-hmm. I think people need to be fed. But not right here. Yeah. Thank you.
Are we backing up over here?
Over here, oh, this will be fun.
Like I said, as long as you guys sit in order, that's good. James Atkins is Aram.
Oh, some color.
I couldn't find coat colors that were bright enough, that were not like neons. It's really hard, so I just went with some hideous colors that didn't go together and odd patterns. I did the design on everything, picked out all the fabric, and then I had somebody make the clothes for me. All the leather stuff I did myself. So belt pouch, sheath, and then the bandolier that's holding the sword. The sword I bought was a small claymore, so I had to cut it and add the wolf head, obviously, do some trimming to it. The wolf's head is from a children's Safari Limited wolf toy. I had a few ideas there, and I thought maybe I could get a wolf head on a trophy. and I wasn't able to find one that was the right size. They were all too big. So literally Thursday, I was like, oh God, I need a wolf's head, I need a wolf's head. I finally went to Safari Limited, I had the idea for the toy, went to 3 or 4 stores, found one, was able to cut it and get it glued on. When I cut the sword handle, the whole thing fell apart because there's a rod from the blade that goes all the way up through. So then I'm sitting there literally at like 11 o'clock for Thursday night going, okay, what do I do now? And I was able to Afro-engineer it, get the whole thing to stay together, get the wolf head glued on, and so hopefully it doesn't fall apart while I'm walking around. I keep hooking on people with this thing right here. That's hanging out right here.
Okay, so you're back.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Richard Fife is Steve Aaron.
Impetus for this was I like steampunk and I also can't do contacts. So I decided for the golden eyes I'd have bought a pair of goggles that had the gold. Working from the bottom, bought the boots, the breeches, coat, vest, and cravat were all custom made for me by a seamstress friend. Bought the tuxedo shirt. Also have a wolf's head belt with falcon feathers, bought. Also, devil in the details, have the serpent on the buttons.
Oh, love that.
Serpent. That. Bought the hat for this actually specially. For the hammer, made this completely myself. Just PVC pipe and foam and shower curtain or shower hose and some paint. And yeah, I think it's it. Yeah.
Okay, Sophie as Rubika. Are you guys a group or are you separate?
You're by yourself.
Okay, and you're together.
So I'll start from the bottom. The boots I bought, the trousers I found at a thrift store, the sash I made, the corset part I bought, the shirt I bought. The vest part was actually from a coat that I had cut and made to fit myself using darts, as well as adding lace here. And from the leftover materials, I was able to make a quiver, which the quiver also has a dragon belt buckle, and also took 10 sheets and cut that and made the upper part. And the arrows are made from dowel rods and feathers that I had split. The bow is PVC piping. It's actually 3 parts, so that way I could collapse it and put it in my suitcase for traveling. So what it is this one piece fits inside the larger piece and it's cut in like a jigsaw. And then I have this wood ornament here that screws everything all together, and then the cable kind of gives it the bow shape. And then the gauntlets were also made from the leather that was from the coat. And the glove is a glove that I bought, and then I made it into like a archer's glove. And I painted it as well.
Thank you.
We're gonna have Kylie and Elaine as Elaine and Leanie.
I did not start preparing for this 9 minutes ago. Of course, I did not make any of this. I don't make my own. I bought all of this. I did make a necklace of pendant and ribbon, but I bought this online. It has flowers on it, so rose crown. And I got this in a nice costume place. I bought ruby pendant, red and white for Andor, gold slippers, and belly. I don't know what else to say about the belly. So.
Did you make that belly too?
No. No. See.
I'm Dena. I had this custom made by a former student who specializes in Ren Fair wear, and she freelanced for the lead. So, and I'm watching after her carefully.
me see your backs.
And mine comes, if I just pull one thing, it zips up. Like she said, it's very authentic. So.
Jeff Daniel is looking.
He is withdrawing.
Withdrawing, okay. Kieran Clark as a Miss Ford.
So I handmade the cloak. I started with a basic cloak pattern up to the shoulders and made each of the strips and sewed them on. And then created a belt, and with the leftover material I made some pockets for some metal vials. And then I made my coin pouch. That's my question.
Jim Moore's High Inquisitor.
I fear I do not have the patience of Trollocs, so the mail was bought. It is, however, real mail. I'm actually kind of proud of the cough and the helmet because it was an eBay deal, went terribly bad, so bad that the guy felt so badly. He gave me this, which is anodized, it's real steel though, and a better helmet for $35, which I thought was pretty cool. The belt, the cloth items are made. The boots are purchased. The surcoat and cloak are actually repurposed baptismal robes. It turned out to be a rather low-budget operation, so I guess I'll get caught one day. I drew the shepherd's crook, and my wife cut it out and sewed it on. And there is a smaller item. The idea is it's designed on Crusader type surcoat and cloak, although this is more for affectation than actual protection. The idea of being more clerical. And the sword is Black Prince, replica of Black Prince sword. Certainly befitting the High Inquisitor station. Thank you.
No, twirl, back view.
Okay, are the hunters a group or individual? Yes. A group? Okay, so Drew, Derek, and Logan. Hunters of the Horn.
So I'll go first. I had my coat made for me by a Civil War coat maker. So I have American eagles on my buttons, but other than that, it's pretty fitting for carrying. I got an old-timey shirt and some Renaissance fair boots, and black pants to go with my coat and velvets.
So I got most of my stuff from Goodwill, except for the boots and the sword. And then I caught this from my backyard, and this we bought as well. And that's essentially the waist is going to be attire.
I do these from Alien, so I grew the beard. So I bought the parts for the sword and assembled it. And the jacket I bought as well, but I had to cut out the sleeves of the take patches off. Other than that, the stuff was bought.
See your backside
Rephrase.
See your back.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and the Seraphina has an iron with a spear.
I will take the veil down. So
Thank you.
I will not kill you. Everything basically from the thrift store, except for the boots. I've had these for years, and they're black, I realize, but I'm for it. This I made. It is a pool stick that I sawed in half and stuck a trowel to the end of. The shield is a cookie platter that I wrapped in fake leather, and yeah, it connects like. Yeah. And then knife I got from my dad. And then this is a shawl sweater kind of thing that I cut the arms off of and wrapped around. Then my veil is it's called a buff, which is like multifunctional headwear bandana type thing. And it has a pattern on the inside, but it's black. So that's pretty much it. Awesome.
Thank you.
And was there anyone who got missed? Who signed up? Kristen, were you signed up? Okay. All right. Well, then that was it. Oh, there's one more?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there we go. I know who you are.
Okay, good.
Yeah, are you a particular character?
So it's Sloan.
Sloan, okay.
So, there we go. She's easy, I didn't make anything. Just to make sure I have my old pouch in the back, we're good to go. So, yeah.
What's on your feet? I can't see.
Little white shoes that I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, thank you everyone for doing this. This makes everything go a lot smoother when we're able to do the prejudging. So I really appreciate you giving up your time to do this and to make the show better. I've been told we have some additional instructions for how we're going to move you guys from here to there.